Hi, Brian Gosur here, and I want to talk briefly about Ndamukong. I know I did a video before about him. First of all, I'd like to say Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Hope you had a good Turkey Day and enjoyed the holiday. And for those of you who may be out shopping, today is Black Friday. But for all you undying Lions fans, which I am, a little disappointed that the Lions didn't beat Green Bay. But I'm just so tired of hearing that the game was lost because of Ndamukong's play, where he was ejected from the game. Now, he did, although he says he intentionally did not intend to hurt the player. But who intentionally intends to hurt anyone? But definitely he should have got the penalty and should have been ejected. But I think Ndamukong's play is coming down to the point where I think it needs to be addressed. I love his aggressiveness and I love his play. There's not an NFL team in the league that would not like to have him on their team right now. I mean, he plays with that intensity. But I'm even starting to wonder if there may be some type of emotional problems with Ndamukong, because he is looking, and I know he's aggressive and he's still a young player, but you need to curb your emotions and feelings. You can't play with that type of emotions on your sleeve. Things don't go right for you. He's been labeled a dirty player. Refs are watching him. They're just watching every single little thing he does. So he's going to get calls that are going to go against him. He has to understand that, but you can't get that emotional and irate over every single little teeny call, because it's going to result in what resulted on Thanksgiving Day, and more fines, more suspensions, and no doubt he's going to be suspended. And then what good does it do you with all this talent and you're sitting on the sideline watching your team lose? So, I mean, a player like him, you want players like that on your team, because that kind of enthusiasm and determination and drive just spreads throughout the rest of the team. And do I think that his play where he was ejected was the difference in the game? No, I don't, because I actually think Kevin Smith getting hurt actually hurt the Lions worse, because the Lions need a running game. They finally got one against Carolina, and in the beginning of the game at Thanksgiving against Green Bay, they were dominating. Green Bay had no answer. We were just driving down the field, although we didn't score, but we were moving the ball. I mean, Kevin Smith had 60 yards in the first quarter. They were passing to him. He was running right through the line of Green Bay, and I think Green Bay would have lost that game had Kevin Smith not gone down. But when he went down, Detroit came back to the normal team that they were, of just a passing team, and then Green Bay adjusted their defense to that type of team, and they won. But here's something that I'd like to point out also, is that because Detroit, everybody has to remember, Detroit's a young team. They're still in process. They haven't achieved, I think, because they won 5 games, the first 5 games of the season, everybody thought, okay, we've arrived. No, wait, we haven't arrived. This team is still not the caliber team that's going to take them to the Super Bowl. No way. Not even close. Their immaturity and their lack of discipline on the field is starting to show more and more. I mean, even Stafford is throwing interceptions, and I don't believe it's his finger. It's just poor decisions. Not on the same table with his receivers. That's a problem. At this point in the season, you shouldn't be making mistakes like that. So they're still a team in process. They're a young team. You have to be patient. Stafford's really only played technically 1 year, full year in the NFL. So that's really to his disadvantage. But he's learning. He's got the talent. The Lions have the talent. They're just still a very emotionally immature team that has got to learn. You can't play with your feelings and emotions. You have to play with the drive and intensity, but you have to keep your emotions and feelings in check. And Ndamukong Suh doesn't do that. And the one thing I don't like about Suh is that he got on this on the press and he gave that stupid lame excuse that I didn't intentionally try to hurt him. I tripped. I mean, come on, Sue. We all saw the film. You were pushing that guy's helmet into the ground, not once, not twice, but 3 times, and preventing him from getting up. And you were definitely irate. You were frustrated and you took it out. And if you don't curb that, it could eventually turn into somebody being hurt. So I think he needs to address that. If there's some deep emotional problems, he may need to go and get some anger management class. You can't play with that kind of unharnessed feelings and emotions on the field. You can't do it. So I think if he can curb that and get that in check, he can be a great, great, valuable player with a long career. But one thing I noticed that the Lions were losing their composure. Green Bay, you look at them, a veteran team, they know how to win. They didn't. That player that Sue kicked, he just got right back up and walked off. He didn't get flustered. And Green Bay just kept their composure. They kept doing what they were doing. They followed the game plan, and they won. And Detroit lost. I mean, sports is 80% mental, 20% physical. Hockey is another good sport where you got a lot of intimidation going on that field. People are jawing at each other. The guy who breaks under that kind of intensity and pressure is the one who's going to lose. And that's what you saw Thanksgiving Day with the Lions in Green Bay. They break under that intensity. A good team, and I'm a huge Red Wing fan. You see my Red Wing shirt. They're a great example of that. They play. People take shots at them and they hit them. They don't lose their composure because it's always the second guy in that gets penalized. So you have to play smart, and that's what I think Ndamukong Suh needs to do. He's a leader on that team, and he needs to play smart and to get his act together and get it together quickly, because as he goes, and Stafford, I think they're the leaders on that team, the way the rest of the team is going to go. So that's my opinion. Let me know what you think. Have a happy Thanksgiving. God bless you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.